Bro, why is my Valorant only getting 40 FPS? I have Ryzen 9, NVIDIA RTX 4080, and a power supply weaker than my school calculator. People out here flexing their GPU like it's a Ferrari, but running it on fuel from a Navratri fasting menu. Let's talk about that one friend who spends 1 lakh on CPU and GPU, and 300 rupees on the power supply they found in a dusty local shop. They'll be like, dude, I got Ryzen 7, 32GB RAM, NVMe SSD, liquid cooling, RGB everywhere, and then whisper, and a 450-watt no-name PSU that came free with the cabinet. And then they open Valorant, frames drop harder than their marks after mid-sems, and they start blaming Riot, Windows, Internet, Modi, everyone except the power supply. Here's the thing, your power supply is literally the heart of your PC. If the heart is weak, it doesn't matter how jacked your biceps are. High-end CPUs and GPUs are like bodybuilders. They need steady, clean power. If your PSU is low wattage or cheap quality, your system will throttle performance, crash randomly, or just black screen harder than your future when relatives ask about marriage. So what should you actually do? Don't worry, this isn't an electrical engineering lecture. Very simple rule. 1. Add the power of your CPU and GPU. 2. Add around 40 to 60% extra on top as a safety buffer. 3. Then buy a good brand PSU with that wattage or higher. Example time, so you don't have to Google mid-video. If your CPU and GPU together roughly eat around 250 watts under load, don't buy a 300 watt or 350 watt PSU. That's asking for trouble. Aim for at least 500 to 550 watts from a reliable brand. If you're rocking something heavier that can pull closer to 350 watts combined, look at 650 watts or more. You want room for spikes, drives, fans, and the RGB that's draining more power than your motivation. And if you're going crazy with a high-end card plus a beefy processor, just skip the drama and go 750 watts or above from a trusted brand. Think of it like buying slippers one size bigger, you'll grow into it with upgrades. And wattage is not the only thing. A fake 1000 watt PSU from unknown company is worse than a genuine 600 watt from a good brand. You want 80 plus rated units from brands people actually recognize with proper protections so your GPU doesn't become a very expensive room heater / firework. Spending a little extra on a solid PSU is way cheaper than replacing a fried graphics card and then crying in EMI. So next time someone says, bro, my specs are insane but FPS is low, just ask one question. What is the rating of your power supply? If they go silent, you already know the answer. Don't be the guy who buys Ryzen 9 and RTX 4080, and then powers it with the emotional support of a 450 watt potato. Treat your PSU like your parents. You don't give them enough credit, but they are literally keeping everything running. If you found this useful, go check your PSU specs after this video. If it's suspiciously cheap or suspiciously low wattage, maybe skip one Swiggy order and upgrade that first. Drop your CPU, GPU, and PSU wattage in the comments, and let's see who's running a Ferrari on scooter fuel. See you in the next one.